Hey guys, and welcome to today's MCAT question of the day. As always, we'll be working through one of the many MCAT practice problems found at MCATselfprep.com, the home of the free MCAT prep course. I'm Dalton, a 100th percentile MCAT tutor, and today I'll be working through this problem with you as though you're one of my private tutoring students. Today's practice problem comes from the end of lesson mastery quiz in lesson 6 of the Chemistry 1 module. Be sure to hit pause and try this problem for yourself before watching my explanation. All right, so this problem asks us to find the molar mass of a particularly large molecule. Now, what the molar mass tells us is essentially how many grams there are in 1 mole of that element or molecule that we're trying to solve for. And I want you to remember that ratio, grams per mole, because remembering that molar mass is grams per mole will allow us to use the molar mass to convert in a lot of different ways in problems later that will be super useful. But for now, I just want to talk about how to find that molar mass in the first place. The good news is that on the MCAT, you'll have access to a periodic table. And in that periodic table, you'll notice in the top left-hand corner here, we have the standard atomic weight. For example, the standard atomic weight of iron, as we can see, is 55.845. But it's totally okay to round here. So I would round this up to 56. That's an easier number to work with, obviously, than that decimal, right? So what we're going to want to do, here is the molecule that I stole right from the question that we're working on. We're going to want to find the standard atomic weight of each of the elements that make up this molecule. So we're going to start with this sodium right here. Here's the Na, sodium. Now we're going to need this phosphorus, the P. Okay. And finally, we're looking for oxygen, which I know is going to be right up here. And I can see, looking at these numbers, that phosphorus, it's 30 and a high decimal. So phosphorus is going to be 31, roughly. Oxygen's like 15.999, so we're going to call that 16. And this sodium over here is 22.99, etc. And so we're going to round up, and we're going to call sodium 23. Perfect. Now that we've figured out what those standard atomic weights are, let's go back to the question and we'll solve it together. Okay, so using the periodic table, we're able to figure out the standard atomic weights of each of these elements. I've got them written right over here. Now, it's really kind of a simple math thing that we've got to do. We know we have 3 sodiums, so we're going to do 3 times 23, since sodium is 23. 3 sodiums. We're going to add a single phosphorus, which will be 31. And then we're going to add 4 oxygen, so 4 times 16. Now, this is something that you might be able to do in your head or with the scratch paper or the surface that you have to write on during the MCAT. But if this is something that is tricky to you, if mental math is particularly tricky, or you just are in a rush and you need to get through this problem faster for whatever reason, since you won't have a calculator, you can round. That's one of the beauties of the MCAT being multiple choice. So why don't we do that? Let's change this 23 to a 20. That'll be easier to work with. Let's change this 31 to a 30. And let's change this 16 to a 20 as well. So 3 times 20, that's a lot easier to handle. 3 times 20 is going to be 60, plus this 30, plus 4 times 20, which is going to be 80. If I add those up, 60 plus 30 is 90, and 90 plus 80 is 170. Now I can see right here that the closest answer is very clearly going to be this first one. And so I can assume that's going to be my correct answer. If I got 170 and I had another answer that was very close, like if this, for example, right here was 175 instead of 200, then I might want to go back and do it without rounding so much, because that's a little risky. But where it's clearly closest to this answer right here, to the 164, we're going to say that's our correct answer. Let's go ahead and check it out. Awesome. If you enjoyed this MCAT question of the day, be sure to give it a like. For more MCAT questions of the day, be sure to enroll in our free MCAT prep course found at MCATselfprep.com and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're really looking to maximize your MCAT score, be sure to check out our elite tutoring services and request a free consultation with any of our available tutors. We'd love to chat with you about your situation and how we can help you maximize your MCAT score. We look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.